Hey guys, today I'm bringing you a face routine, how I put my foundation on and my contouring, my blush, and my highlighter, just everything that I do. If you want to see how I do it, continue watching. And if you don't, I did a eyeshadow tutorial as well. Go check that out. If you don't want to see either of these, then please write me a suggestion down in the comments of what you would like to see. Thank you, and continue watching. Before I start doing my makeup, I just want to put a disclaimer out there that I am not a professional makeup artist. I don't know how to put makeup on. My techniques, the way I do it, is how I taught myself when I was younger. I'm still relatively new to makeup. I've only been doing my own makeup for about 2.5 years, so I have a lot to learn still, and I'm just going to be showing you how I do it. It is not professional, it will not be perfect. Now that that's out of the way, let me tell you the products I use. First of all, I put on 2 different primers. Now I received this one in a makeup box. I don't have the full size, it is the sample size, but I really like it. It is a brand called Emite Makeup. Emite Makeup? I don't know. But it is called Diamond Heart Base Primer. And some of my makeup I put on with my hands, some of it I use brushes. You do whatever you want to do. I used to use, when I began, I would use beauty blenders, and I thought, oh my goodness, it looks so natural. But it didn't. Not for my skin. My skin, it would not look natural. It looked like a sponge was putting on my makeup. And so I have since then changed what I use. I no longer use beauty blenders. I use my hands, I use my brushes, and that's it. Some of these makeup products, they might be higher end, and some of them might be from the drugstore. I do both. I have no preference, actually. I really don't. I actually prefer drugstore makeup because that's so much cheaper, but we'll see. I'm going to show you what I use on the daily, my daily, everyday face routine. So, first thing I use is primer. So, what I do is I just put it, well actually I put it here, so I'm already lying to you. I put like that much right there on my hand, and then I make sure my fingers are clean, and I just rub it in. I rub this in, and my next primer that I put on, I actually dab it on so that it settles into the pores and fills them so my pores aren't terribly noticeable. I have to make sure to put primer around my mouth because the corners of my mouth get really dry. I have to put primer on my cheeks because they're so red, they need extra coverage. And you just put it all over my forehead. Then I make sure just to one more time go around any pimples that I have. I'm looking in the mirror here. I am sorry. It's hard to see here. I will always put primer under my eyebrows for a highlighter later on. And then I like to also do under here with whatever's left. I don't need to do this, but if there's anything left, usually I will. The second primer that I use is the Smashbox Photo Finish. Basically what I do is almost the same exact thing, except, you know, I put like that much on. So what you see is a lot of scarring. There's also hyperpigmentation. My cheeks are very red. I have hyperpigmentation like here. As you can see, it's kind of like that. It's like a darker color. So I like to put on a lot of primer because I have a lot of problems that need to be concealed, like pores, but also my acne scars and whatever pimples I have at that time, and also just the hyperpigmentation. And primer also helps smooth the makeup out and make it last longer. So what I do is I just dab it. I'm not giving you the middle finger, I promise. Okay, sorry. My mom was here talking to me. So yeah, I make sure to do the corners of my mouth, and then with whatever's left over, I do this part. Now, it's very, very important to just let it dry. You want this to set, and you want this to make a barrier between your pores and whatever's going to be underneath your makeup. So, let it dry. While it dries, actually, I'm going to take the opportunity to talk about something. As you can see, I have very dark circles. Some people have dark bags. I do. Look at this. Look. Look at these bags. Look at these bags. And when I was first beginning makeup, I had really loved concealer. But through time, I just feel like it doesn't look like me. There are certain parts of my face that I don't like covering up as much because I just feel like then I just don't look like me. And now everybody's different, so if you love concealer, put it on. But just know that in this tutorial, I will put stuff over my pimples to conceal, but not under my eyes. Okay, once this is dry, what I do is I use my NYX. This is the one I actually use, not the new one. This is still my old one. I use my NYX Matte Finish Spray. Just very quickly. Two. Just like that. You just let it dry. Now, once it's dry, I said before, I have a lot of red in my skin between the acne scars and the hyperpigmentation. So, before I put foundation on, I usually put, or before I even put concealer on my pimples, I will put this product. It's L'Oreal Magic Anti-Redness Correcting Primer. I don't put this on my whole face. I usually do one. It's very thin. It goes a long way. And usually one pump for me is too much, actually. And then I will just dab over my problem areas. So just here, basically. Because the foundation will cover a lot of this, but sometimes I do think that because I use a lighter coverage foundation, my pimples and scars sometimes do show, which I don't mind so much, but I've started using this. I've used this for about a month and a half now, and I feel like it just makes everything look a little bit duller, which makes the foundation look more natural, I think. So you just kind of dab where you need it. I like to do my cheeks because, like I said, the hyperpigmentation here is sometimes rough, and the scarring. And you want to pat this on because if you wipe it it will move your primer. And you want this to dry on top of the primer so that it is one more barrier between what you're trying to hide. My skin right now actually isn't too bad, believe it or not. My pimples are very tame, so I ain't complaining. Now you let this dry because you want to make sure that what is on your face is setting. Because if it's not, then what you put on over it is just gonna smear what's under it. Sometimes I will put on concealer. For that, I use It Cosmetics, the combo between the Bye Bye Under Eye and then the Hello Light Brightener. But today, my acne is not too bad. My face isn't too bad. I don't really have much to conceal. I think that my foundation will cover that stuff pretty fine. So that's your call, what you want to do. But for today, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to move straight to foundation. Now, my foundation is Revlon Colorstay Normal / Dry Skin formula in the shade Ivory. So what I do is I take my foundation and I just pound it there, just like that. And what I do is, instead of actually like layering it on, I will just tap at first. Kids are having fun today. And then you make sure to do that. Take my foundation brush after I get these dots lined up. I do this because I can put the foundation exactly where I want it and then blend out. And I only put this many because I like to blend it in with the brush and then see where I need more coverage and then build in those areas. I like it being light. I really like the light coverage. So I just start. Blending. Certain areas I'll use my fingers. To the underside of my jaw. Now, looking at my skin closely, you can see like my nose is covered, but you can see that it's a light enough coverage that you see my freckles. And if you blend it, it's hard to tell, but that's not my real skin. So what I do now is, after I blend it in, and once everything looks pretty covered, I will take the rest and I will tap it on my problem areas, such as right there, here, anywhere that's not covered. And then I will blend it some more. Right here, which I will actually tap in and then blend around. Right here, for some reason, it looks red. Put it up here a little bit more. I will set it. And while that dries, grab my powder. My powder, I use two different kinds at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but together. I use Too Faced's Primed and Poreless powder. How I use it is that I usually take it from the lid, use a powder brush, and then I gently pick some up, tap it, because you can very easily get too much powder on that, and put it here in my nose. Basically all over my face. And what this does is it sets everything. And it will help dry the makeup. Just like that. Then I use Too Faced's Absolutely Invisible Translucent Pressed Powder with vitamin C, A, and E. I just dust off the extra and then go to town again. Powder is on. I use a stippling brush and it looks like this. For my bronze, like, okay, I call it bronzer, but I know it's contouring, but I don't really contour that much. I just like to do a little bit just to give myself some color. And I use a sample of Too Faced Chocolate Soleil in medium deep, and it's basically just a matte bronzer. And I just put it in like that, blow on it. And now the trick I know is to use your little wiggly thing here and go to the corner of your mouth. I like to make sure that from right here it goes. And then I just let it just go lighter as I go on to create that angular shape. Now it looks like a lot because it is, but I'm gonna blend. Going for some more, just like that. Get that angular shape. I am going to put on some blush. It is OFRA's blush in Paradise Pink. Looks like that. And just spin it like that. Now this is going to be very pigmented. And now I know blush goes here. I know. I don't like putting blush there because my cheeks are very red. Why would I cover it just to show it? Sometimes I'll do it, but not usually. And I'll just go right above my contour, and I'll just put that red right into it, just like that. Just like that. Sometimes I'll get a little fancy and I'll put some on my nose. And then go back to my powder brush. And I take my Too Faced translucent powder, and then I use this to blend. After that, actually, I usually blend a little bit more with a clean brush, like this. And I'll just blend it in a little bit more. I'm not somebody that likes contouring too much. So if it's still a little crazy for me, I will blend it in just a little bit more until it's a little bit more subtle. And then highlighter. Too Faced Candlelight Glow in the Rosy Glow color. Used to have a little chandelier on it, but I've used it so much it doesn't anymore. Then I will just tap, tap, tap. And blend a little bit more. You see that glow? Can you? I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's very glowy. Put that on top. And I blend it into the cheeks a little bit. Then I'll go over my nose a little bit. Blend that in. My lips. Get that little glow there. Usually put there. And then right into the inner corner. And before anything starts settling too much, this is the final time to use this setting spray. Just like that. I don't do anything to my brows. I need to pluck them, and then I'll sometimes transparent eyebrow gel, and I just usually do that to get them into the shape I want. So this is my makeup. And if I'm feeling fancy, I'll put on a lipstick or a lip gloss. Then I take my hair out. And I'm all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial on how I do my face makeup. If you want to see anything else, please ask. If you want to see a more close-up tutorial, please ask. If you have any suggestions whatsoever, please tell me. Yeah, so see you next time, guys.